In today's video, I am sharing with you 5 genius ways to create gorgeous home decor using toilet plungers. No one is ever going to know these look totally high-end and beautiful, but you can make some gorgeous DIYs on a budget. Hey sweet friends, and welcome back to my channel. So for this video, I am going to be making some DIYs using these toilet plungers. So just for $1, Dollar Tree has these, and if you remove this rubbery part, you are left with a really nice high quality piece of wood, and you can do so many things with this. So you are going to love these projects. They look so high-end, and like I said, no one is ever going to know, but these have the potential to become some really gorgeous pieces. So don't forget to hit the thumbs up button, and let's go ahead and get started. I ended up using a couple of plungers per craft in this video, so I had 10 plungers to prep, so I became a pro at getting these ready. I just unscrewed the bottom piece, but mostly getting the label off. I heated it up with my heat tool, and then it peeled off a lot easier. It did leave some residue, but on some of them I used Goo Gone, and then on the last few I just ended up kind of sanding over the adhesive to remove that. So for this first project, we are making a little mini tea towel ladder. This miter and saw box is awesome. Definitely have one on hand, but this wood from the toilet plunger is really soft and easy to cut through, so this box makes it even easier, and it keeps your saw in place so everything's lined up and straight. I just had to make a few marks. So pretty much on these on the longer pieces on the edges, I was cutting off the threads, like where the rubber piece would have screwed on, because I needed to get rid of that. And then I used one plunger to be able to cut in half to make the little bars that went sideways. Now I'm getting everything lined up. I originally thought I was going to have to try to put some screws in this ladder, but I attempted the liquid nails, but it worked really good. After this dried, it is like super sturdy. You cannot even get it to kind of rock back and forth, so super tight, and I definitely recommend going with this. And this is going to hold something like tea towels and stuff, very lightweight, so I don't feel like it has to just be put together with a lot of hardware. So I'm just putting that on the joints or the places that they meet. And then I ended up letting this dry for several hours. It recommends, I think, 24 hours, but you could go ahead and stain it as long as you're careful with it, because it already has a really tight hold after several hours. So I recently picked up this Rust-Oleum wood stain from Walmart. I wasn't even in the stain section, but I found this in the Walmart clearance section, and I was so excited. I felt like it looked really similar to what I've been dyeing for, like the light wood color that would match all of my new decor. And when it goes on, it looks really thick, but I just took like an old washcloth and wiped it off, and some of the wood shows through, and it is a beautiful, like soft light wood color that is just perfect for like the lighter, airier farmhouse look. This was in the color Flagstone. Definitely something I will be repurchasing if I ever make it through this can. I just love this color, and for just a couple of bucks to make this little tea towel ladder, I love it, and something that I'll get to enjoy for years to come. The next project, I wanted to kind of make like a mixture of like a vintage scale, but almost just more like a plant stand. So you'll see what I mean. It looks really pretty after I got it done. But for this project, for the longer one, I just ended up removing the threads, and then I wanted to create a shorter little bar to go sideways across the top, because I don't want this sticking out too far. I'm going to be decorating with it with other pieces. So once again, using this miter box and saw, I highly recommend this. I will leave it linked in the description box, but this is perfect for any craft room because you can use it indoors and it doesn't create like a huge mess, just a little bit of dust that I was able to wipe up. And then I discovered to sand the ends was just to fold over a piece of sandpaper and just twist it back and forth, and it is like I said, just really soft wood, so it sanded really nicely. And then the secret to this is picking up one of these Dollar Tree candle holders. This fits the plunger perfect. It is such like a nice tight hold. I didn't even have to glue it down, but if you want to, you can stick a little bit of glue in the bottom, but this holds it up, so you'll be able to use this for so many projects with this plunger. But I thought this worked perfect with this. I will be painting the entire thing black, so don't worry about the blue color. But I did need these to really hold. I knew glue just wasn't going to cut it because these were going to be holding some little pots on each end. So I did add a little bit of glue. I don't know if that did anything because after I screwed it together, the glue kind of just came out the edges, but pretty much just putting a screw down in there. I did pre-drill the hole so that nothing would crack, but this screw is just really going to make sure that it's nice and secure and nothing's going to fall apart. For the little pots on each side, I ended up picking up these Dollar General pots. These are $1 for these cute little galvanized pots. I didn't want both sides to say Home Sweet Home, so I ended up just removing this all together, and I just used fingernail polish remover. You do have to use a little bit of elbow grease to scrub that off, but it did come off, but you also could paint over it, or even after you get that off, you could put like a sticker or something on it. I just decided to leave them plain. And then I'm using these little plant hooks with the chain, and I ended up counting down how many links that I needed and then glued that 3 spots evenly around the little planter so it would hold it up nice and tight. You could add in some extra stability if you wanted to by adding in some multi-purpose glue, but so far I feel like the hot glue is working really nice for me. I tucked in some greenery just from a Hobby Lobby greenery garland that I had, and then adding in a little bit of extra detail by wrapping the ends in twine. And then it still looked really plain, so I pushed in this little tack with a hook. I picked these up in a pack from Walmart, and then stuck on this little sign I picked up from Hobby Lobby. I definitely got that on sale, but I feel like it adds a lot of detail and decor in there, and it doesn't look so plain. But this is such a fun project, just a few bucks, and it looks really high end and just beautiful with my other farmhouse decor. I don't know if I can go an entire video without creating some type of wall decor, especially this like wooden scroll, but this turned out so beautiful. I think it cost maybe $4 in total using Dollar Tree items, but I'm using one of the large wedding signs just because I love how big it is, and it just gives you a nice workspace. Everything's flat, so you're able to paint over all of the words. I painted this white, and I did paint over the decorated side so the back will still look really nice and plain if you ever wanted to gift this or end up selling it. And then once again using my flagstone stain, which I am just falling in love with every time that I'm using this. I stained the 2 pieces that I cut for the top and the bottom. And then I found some wall decals at Dollar Tree that go perfect for this. So this is so easy. I just glued that over the top. I didn't even have to fill in the little holes that covered it over. And then I will be hanging this with some jute twine. These are the wall decals that I'm going to be using. I love this. It says be grateful, and then it has these beautiful little vines, and the best part is when the backing is clear. Sometimes Dollar Tree puts out wall decals that has like a white backing, and it's hard to use because the white paper doesn't look good stuck on the white paint. So I love these with the clear, and I feel like this is such a beautiful font. I just spaced it out evenly and then put those little vines around the wording. I considered taking some green paint and painting over the vines so they weren't silver, but then after I got it finished, I just loved it and I couldn't stand to paint over it because I don't want all of my pieces to look exactly the same. Next up, I'm going to make a mini little towel rack shelf. I have went head over heels for all things shelves, farmhouse shelves in particular. So I've been hanging a billion in my home. I don't want it to look cluttered, but I feel like a good shelf just looks so beautiful and adds a lot of texture and detail into your home. Something that you can really add in extra decorations when you don't have a lot of floor space. So for this, I did end up using 2 of the bamboo cutting boards that I'm going to piece together with a couple of these wooden pieces. Now these are just wooden pieces that came from Hobby Lobby, but you definitely can substitute with paint sticks or any of the wood rulers at Dollar Tree. But I glued this together with a combo of liquid nails and hot glue so it would have a nice tight hold. And then using 2 of these plant hooks or metal brackets from Dollar Tree, I placed them on the edges. I am going to tack them with hot glue just for this video, but I definitely recommend trying to find a multi-purpose glue like the liquid nails and use that instead. And then the toilet plunger piece of this craft is to put it in the front as a little towel rack, and this looks so beautiful. I put some lightweight pieces on it because I was worried about it holding too much weight, but if you're going to do this, make sure you use wall anchors in your wall just to make sure it's going to have a nice tight hold and everything stays flush against the wall. Because shelves are always scary. You don't want them pulling out of your drywall, but I feel like it turned out so adorable. Definitely looks really, really cute with this little towel hanging off the front. And then next up is something that I've made before on my channel a long time ago, and I wanted to recreate it better because I feel like the old footage just wasn't very good. But Dollar Tree has these thick wooden circles, which is perfect for crafting. So definitely have a few of these on hand. I have a few stocked up that I'm excited to keep using, but this made the perfect base for a little wreath stand. So for the toilet plunger, I ended up cutting the threads off the bottom and then pre-drilling a hole in that as well as the bottom to make these really stick nice and flush together. And then I am using a huge long screw that my husband went and found for me. But if you screw these together instead of gluing them, they are going to be so much more sturdy, and you'll be able to keep this for years to come. I ended up taking one of these little hooks that came in a kit you can pick up from Dollar Tree or Walmart, and I folded it out because I need a long skinny hook that my wreath can hook onto. So using one of Dollar Tree's little needle tools, I poked a hole in this soft wood and I was able to start this little hook. Now the hook doesn't look really pretty, but after you paint this and put your wreath on there, you are not going to notice that. And I started by painting this white and then dry brushing over it with some gray.
I know the tension's gone now, and that you won't come back. Keep looking back, don't wanna forget you. Yeah, I wanna do it all again, so I keep pushing rewind. Hoping you'll still by my side. We can't get lost in time, but don't you wanna do it all again? Stuck on repeat in my mind, dancing with you by my side. We can't get lost in time.
And then I had to DIY my own little mini wreath because I didn't have one on hand. and you definitely can try to just tack the garland around the wreath, but I have trouble with it looking even and staying on there, so I like to just go ahead and clip off all of these little small greenery pieces and then just gluing them where I want them. You do have to try to hold them in place a little bit, but I feel like you just get a better look whenever you know all of your green pieces are going the same direction. I had that little frame because every once in a while I would kind of step away and let it dry a second, and sometimes I would set the frame on top so it kind of mashed it down and everything would have a nice hold. I didn't get this 100% even, but like I said, it still looks really, really pretty, and even the ones that you find at Target Dollar Spot, they're never even. They're missing some of their green pieces, but I love picking up mini wreaths whenever I see them. And then to add in the extra decor or details, once again, adding in some twine around the top and the bottom. I do like to singe the little hairs with a lighter. I end up pushing that one all the way to the bottom, but this literally takes a couple minutes, and it is something that I get so many compliments on and looks really, really pretty to add height to any side table or entryway table. So I really hope you guys enjoyed all of these projects. These were so much fun to create, and I love challenging myself to create everything out of a toilet plunger. Definitely let me know in the comments down below which one of these projects was your favorite and which one that you're excited to start making. Thank you all so much for coming along and crafting with me today. See, what did I tell you? These turned out really pretty. No one's ever gonna know that you used plungers. It just looks like you used actual wood from the Home Depot or something. But okay, so some people paint this part, but I just don't think I could ever get over the fact that I know what it is. So no offense if you use this in a project, but for me, I'm just gonna stick with the wood right now. I might get brave enough to use this piece, but let me know if you've used it. But I really hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Don't forget to leave me a big thumbs up and make sure you are subscribed, and I'll see you in the next one. Happy crafting. Bye.
I know the tension's gone now, and that you won't come back. Keep looking back, don't wanna forget you.